Hi guys and welcome back. Right, so in the last one we left off where we had shortened the bed and removed the roof. So in this one we are going to construct the front of the cab, and then we're going to shorten the back, and then we're going to section it. And if we get time in this video, because I'm aware that people have said the ideal time of a video is about 15 to 20 minutes. So we'll try and keep it within that time frame. So yeah, we're going to remake the front of the bed. We will shorten it to where I think it needs to be, because we will put a flat piece in to give us something strong and flat to build off to do the customizing on the rear end. At which point, when I've shortened that, we're going to start making the chassis plate and building the mounting points for that in the body. So first of all, I'm just going to start doing the front end of the bed. So what I've done on the inside of the body, I've got all that to clean up yet. However, all this to clean up here, but this bottom of this cab bit here is going to be the mounting point for the chassis plate. And if you remember, I've put a piece in here as well. So what we need to do is I've made some marks on the bed here which correspond to this, and then when that's done, when there's the piece for the back end goes on, I'll make another mounting point at the back. Okay, so I've cut a piece of plastic the right size and I'll just get that glued in. Okay, right guys, so I've got this front bit now glued into place. It's nice and straight. If you notice, I just cut it square, but I cut it to the marks and then to the widest point of the bed. I will sand that flush at some point and round it round. We will have to add a little bit at the bottom here because there will be a gap, but we can just fill that in and we can actually use that as a point for the chassis to hold from side to side. So that piece of plastic there now, once these are lined up, that is nice and flush there. What I will do is I will glue, like I did at the front end there, I'll put a little bit of box section or something across there. One, that'll create a bit of strength to stop that flexing about when the bodywork's done. But that will give us a decent size sort of gluing point for the cab to glue onto the chassis plate and make it nice and strong. Now I've sanded all of that flush on the back of the cab so that it mounts up nicely against the cab. I will round the corners round so it makes it all defined as the bed. Also, while I've done that, I've marked off where I'm going to cut the back of the bed. Now I'm cutting it shorter than I need it to be, so I've marked off 20mm there, but decided I'm going to use this grille front and rear. It's I think it's a 61 Cadillac grille that's in the AMT 63 Impala kit, one of the custom options. But once we've added the bits of the body moulding and then the roll pan for the grill and sloped it in, it's going to be about the right length. So basically what we're going to do is cut this off, add a bit of plastic on the back, which gives us a flat, solid piece to build from. So to glue parts to and get it good and solid. So, and then when we've cut the back off, we're going to section off the bottom of the body as well. Maybe about 3mm, something like that. But what I do like is the lip that goes along the bottom of the body. So I may reinstate that with a bit of 1/2 mil sheet plastic and blend that in. But I'm just going to make these cuts now, and I'll come back to you. Okay, right, so the back end of the truck has now gone, and made it look a whole lot weirder. Got a gaping hole there, and it's really short under there. So next thing we're going to do is we are going to put this piece of plastic back on the back end, like so, and that will put it back to being a solid unit. And then I'll go through what the idea is, because we're saving these pieces that we've cut off. Okay, so I'll glue that bit on and come back to you and then go through what we're doing. Right, so since the last clip, what we've done is we've glued a bit of plastic onto the back, and then we've also cut the bottom of the body off. We've cut 3mm off the bottom, using exactly the same technique with the Dymo tape as we did with the other cuts. So I'll just pull that off. I mean, obviously there's still a ridiculous amount of work to do on it, and it's looking a little bit odd at the moment. So what I'm going to do, just to relieve that, so you see what I mean with cutting it back, we're going to use a grill, something like this in the back, but it's going to be moulded all round. We're going to build a surround for it and mould it in. We may bring it out a little bit further, but then along this rear end here, we're going to use parts that we've cut off the bed to create that shape along the back. With what we've got, there should be enough to sort of glue together and create that shape along the back like that. We'll cut it off around about here, and then that will create that body line. We'll glue it in from starting around here, because then what that'll do then is allow us to put some plastic sheet or rod in here, which will curl it round, or file it to shape. But we've kind of got the basics of where we're going. So the next step for me now is to, I will clamp the body together and get it all lined up, flip it over, and then I can start making the chassis plate for it and get the ride height set. Because once that's done, we can it's fixed in place then, and then we can start tweaking and doing the little bits we need to do. Like then we can start putting the bubble surrounding, we can start building the interior because we know what space we've got to play with and what we've got to work with. So I'll come back to you shortly on that one. Okay guys, so I've cocked up. When I cut the bottom off the body, obviously my measurements were off. So I've clamped the body together using this trim along the sides, lined it all up. So on this side, all nicely lines up, all nicely lines up at the bottom. Obviously there's a lot of work to do on it, but we'll get to that. This side, it's short. Yeah, what can I say? I've cocked up. So what we're gonna have to do, turns out I measured by a mil. So I can simply just glue a bit of cheap plastic onto the bottom of there and sand it smooth, and that'll sort the problem out. Okay guys, since the last clip, we realised we've made a bit of cock up. I've just glued a bit of plastic onto the bottom here, so that nicely kind of now lines up with the bottom of the body like that. So, and also we've done a little bit of sanding along the bottom here, along the bottom of the sills, and we've got the back, these bits around the body line all sort of sanded back out and to shape. So, and also I mentioned we were saving the bits that we'd cut off from the sides, so I have just glued them together. What I am going to do now is I'm going to get that cut down round about here, so then that can, let's try to remember which is the back, that can then be glued onto the back here like that, sort of square. I think I'll cut it maybe a little bit long because that grill wants to be about there. We're going to have it level with the bottom of the body, so I'll just mark a line across there. I might cut it a little bit long to then we've got a little bit more material to play with, but I'll do them cuts and that clean up, get that glued on, and I'll come back to you. Alright guys, so off camera there I've got the this back bit cut down now and glued to the body. I'm going to leave it here for now on the back end of the truck, because looking at it, it's all looking a little bit weird and it's not, something's not working, something's not quite right. These wheel arches, these rear wheel arches, something's just not right, and I think I have to do something about it. Maybe I open, like I said before, maybe I put the El Camino ones in, or maybe I open them up a little bit, and then somehow we need to resolve this rear roll pan, how it's going to fit into the body and how far it needs to come out to get the right balance. I'm just not sure. It's something that I really need to think about. So we're going to leave this video here now. I was going to try and get the chassis plate done, but I'm going to do that as a separate video on how to do that, and different ways that they can be made. So yeah, as I say, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers guys.